Hey, what's up everybody? It's Goomer22 here, bringing you a Dynamax Adventure rental Pokemon tier list. So I've done like hundreds of Dynamax Adventures, and I'm pretty used to what Pokemon are good and bad and what to go for here. So I thought it would be really useful to make a tier list for people out there who want to know what are the Pokemon to avoid, or the Pokemon who are good and who can help me take down these huge Dynamax legendaries. I'm also planning on making a top 10 tips and strategies for Dynamax Adventures, and so be on the lookout for that. Okay, but let's just jump into the tier list here. A lot of Pokemon to get through, so I'm not going to spend too much time on each one. Okay, let's start with Ivysaur. So Ivysaur's got a pretty good ability, Chlorophyll. It's got stab moves and special, which it likes to run. Not bad. Not super strong though. I'm gonna say it's probably B tier. You don't always have Sun Up, and it is a little frail, so you are at risk of just getting one shot by these legendaries. Charmeleon, I'm gonna say Charmeleon is C tier. Charmeleon gets solar power, it gets its fire pledge, so it has some damage output there, again, if sun's up. But a lot of the time, I feel like when I have Charmeleon, especially on my team, like with an NPC or something like that, like it just does absolutely nothing. And yeah, Indoor can let you hit, survive a hit and save a heart for that turn, but it's not doing enough for the team as a whole to justify it. Wartortle, I'll say Wartortle's B tier. It gets good coverage moves: Ice Beam, Aura Sphere, Water Pledge. It's bulky enough to survive a hit usually, and it can dish out some damage. Max Knuckle's nice for raising your teammates' attacks, so that's pretty solid. Gmax Butterfree, it's got Rage Powder, which is really nice. Redirection's always good for these Dynamax Adventures, but a lot of the Pokemon, they give them spread moves, so it doesn't necessarily help there. And then, in addition, you got the Gmax Befuddle. Doing status is pretty nice, but Butterfree is just so frail, and Bug and Flying, you get hit hard by so many Pokemon. It's not going to be doing that much for you on damage output, and you are likely to just die and lose one of those 4 crucial hearts right away. Raichu's pretty solid. Raichu's probably A tier, or Alolan Raichu, I should say. Surge Surfer, and it gets Electric Drain. So if you want to get be faster, you can always set that and then throw off Thunderbolts in Electric Drain. Super powerful. It also gets Psychic, Strong Stab, and Special, which is specially oriented. So that's really nice. So that's going to be dishing out big damage. I mean, it is kind of frail, but on these Dynamax Adventures, they just dish out so much damage. You want to kill them as fast as possible before they end up hitting you with super effective moves. You really don't want to stall it out, so being able to dish out damage is really crucial. Okay, regular Raichu, again, A tier, solid moves, Light Screen for survival, against those special Dynamax mons. It's got Speed Swap, which is kind of interesting, although if you do get them with an NPC, the NPCs like to use Speed Swap very, very poorly, so that's not very helpful. But Rising Voltage is really nice, and Focus Blast, it doesn't hit, doesn't hit all the time, 70 accuracy, but extremely strong, so decent coverage. You can also use Max Knuckle to raise your attack of your teammates, so that's really nice. Another A tier here, I'd say, is Sandslash. Sandslash gets good stab with Avalanche. Doesn't get a Steel move. Brick Break and Rock Slide are nice, and Sword Stance, so it's definitely going to be dishing out big damage. And on the physical side, it's pretty bulky, so that's kind of nice. Like you can survive some hits for sure. If you're going up against a Special Mon, maybe not the best choice, but can dish out big damage with that Avalanche stab, so that's really nice. Regular Sandslash. I would say that's also regular Sandslash might be B tier. I mean, it gets Stomping Tantrum, and Ground is good against a lot of the legendaries. It gets decent coverage with Leech Life, Stone Edge, and it can set up the Sand for Sand Veil. I guess it's probably A tier. Okay, and then we get to Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen, S tier. Nidoqueen has Scorching Sands. You can get a burn off. That's huge for reducing the Dynamax damage output. You get Venoshock, Shadow Ball, great coverage for lowering the defense, so that your other mons can just hit it physically hard. So super good coverage. It's got Poison and Ground, Stab. That's awesome. Charm also, if you don't want to go for the burns, but you can just go for Scorching Sands and go for the burns if you don't want to Charm. Nidoking, another S tier. Nidoking dishes out huge damage. It's got Rivalry, so that won't help against the legendaries because a lot of them aren't gendered, but you get 4 attacking moves, all great coverage. You get the elemental punches and high horsepower. Super good damage, and a fully evolved mon, which is great because you're able to usually take hits decently well. Clefairy, another A tier, I'd say. Clefairy gets Life Dew. Reflect is nice, and it's got that Friend Guard to help out all your team surviving. Mystical Fire to reduce the damage output. Like again, it's not going to be doing too much, but it can reduce special attack. It can use Reflect to protect from those defenses, and it can just Life Dew and heal up your whole team. Like that's going to let you survive and save those hearts really well. Again, Clefable, A tier. It gets Meteor Beam, super strong. Cosmic Power, you probably won't be using that much, but Follow Me, Redirection, super good, and Dazzling Gleam. I mean, not super hard, only 80 power, but really strong against those dragons, which is nice. Jigglypuff is probably B tier. I mean, it gets Substitute, Light Screen, Fake Tears, Draining Kiss. So not gonna be dealing out too much damage. It gets Friend Guard, but I mean, it can sub and survive and use Light Screen, and then Fake Tears can lower your lower the specialty of the opponents sharply, so that's pretty nice. But it's just not quite as good. Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff, probably another B tier. I mean, it gets competitive, which sometimes gets activated. It gets Dazzling Gleam, Expanding Force, Sweet Kiss. It's not really super powerful unless you get that competitive boost as a thing. Sweet Kiss is nice for confusion, but overall, it's just not. It's not that. It's not overwhelmingly good unless you get that competitive boost. Gloom's probably a C tier. You're just not dishing out that much damage. Toxic, Venoshock, Moonblast, Stunspore. I mean, Stunspore is nice for the status, but Venoshock isn't going to do that much unless you're toxic. I mean, if you do, if it happens to be a good matchup, go for it. But typically, Venoshock isn't that great against these legendaries either. And that's what I'm tiering these based on. Also, this is based on who you want in the final battle. Basically, some of these mons might help you get through to the end, but this is based on fighting these legendaries. Okay, so Vileplume, Giga Drain, Grassy Train, Toxic, Pollen Puff. Honestly, probably another. I mean, it gets Chlorophyll, but probably another C tier. I mean, Giga Drain Grass isn't super useful against a lot of these legendaries, like I said. And Pollen Puff, you can heal up your teammates, but it's not that. It is kind of frail, and you are likely to just die without dealing out that much damage with Giga Drain. So not super useful, honestly. After going through these, honestly, Charmeleon, your D tier. He's just not good. I hate when I play with NPCs and he gets picked up. It's so bad. Okay, Dugtrio. Alolan Dugtrio. Alolan Dugtrio gets pretty good coverage. That's just a C tier. The problem is it's super frail, but Ironhead and High Horsepower can dish out big damage. Like if you happen to not be targeted by that legendary, like you can hit it super hard if you need that coverage. And then you can Screech, like lowering the defense is super nice, especially because you go first. Because that's the problem. Like Jigglypuff, you do Fake Tears last, so you kind of waste a whole turn waiting and then probably going last and using that Fake Tears. Whereas Dugtrio can just Screech right away, and then the other 3 mons, if you're physical, can dish out huge damage on that Dynamax legendary Pokemon. Regular Dugtrio, High Horsepower, Substitute, Mudslap, Rock Slide. I mean, High Horsepower is pretty nice. Rock Slide and Mudslap really aren't too great, but Substitute lets you just survive, which is kind of nice. He's probably a C tier. Like when he's on my, it's really hit or miss when he's on my team. Like he just. I mean, Sub is nice to survive, like I said, but if they're not weak to ground, you're not going to be doing too much. Okay, a Lowland Persian, fur coat, and great ability, or great ability and good attacks. Assurance, Snarl, Feint, Gouache. It's not going to be protecting, so Feint really doesn't matter that much. I mean, it's got priority, but Assurance and Snarl, super good moves with Stab. And then Gouache. I mean, Gouache is huge because if you're faster than Dynamax Pokemon and your other 3 aren't, you can just Gouache and let your other 3 Pokemon get 3 potential hits off before the Dynamax legendary attacks. And that's super useful because every time they attack, I mean, you risk losing a heart and potentially losing the game. So you attacking first or you Gouaching and letting 3 Pokemon attack first is extremely useful in the certain scenarios. Regular Persian is probably a C tier. I mean, it's nice. It gets Stab, Facade with Technician, Feint, Round. I mean, you can do round stuff if you get a full round team. It's pretty situational though, and it doesn't have the best special attack. So, and then Polywrath can lower its attacks, but it's again, it's more just for a coverage move. Golduck. Golduck's probably B tier. I mean, it gets Swift Swim, Aqua Jet, Screech, Mega Kick, Brine. Pretty solid moves all around. Screech is really nice for again, like letting all of your teammates go first. Aqua Jet priorities is nice, but you won't be dishing out too much damage. Like, I mean, Brine's nice if they're below half health, but yeah, it's just decent, just a decent mon. B tier. Polywrath actually is pretty solid. Yeah, he's probably A tier because the thing is, like, okay, coaching is so strong, especially in this format. Like being able to use coaching on all 3 of your teammates and gain that attack and defense boost, extremely strong. And then Drain Punch and Liquidation, like Water and Fighting isn't great defensive typing. Like you are weak to a lot of stuff, but you have Stab, physical moves, which Polywrath likes to be physical. So it's you can dish out big damage or you can help your teammates out. Like that's super versatile, super useful. Kadabra dishes out big damage, but it's just so frail. Like you risk losing those hearts so fast. Psyshock, Round, Endure, Dazzling Gleam. I mean, you can endure if you really want to survive, but Dazzling Gleam and Psyshock with that huge special attack coming from Kadabra is really nice. Machoke, No Guard, Dynamic Punch, that's really nice. And again, like that coaching support, that's probably B tier. Tentacruel, Water Pulse, Hydro Pump, Poison Jab, Sword Stance. Honestly, I'm so close to putting this as S. Like, I really like having Tentacruel on my team. For that max ooze, raising special attack, and then those huge hydro pumps. Yeah, I would say it's probably S tier. I mean, it's really nice. It is pretty bulky, especially on the special side, and being able to Sword Stance and hit stuff with Poison Jab or just max ooze, raising all your all your teammates' special attack, and Clear Body is a great ability. So I do really like having Tentacruel on my team. Slowbro, Expanding Force, Psych Up, Flamethrower, Psyshock, really good coverage, really strong, really bulky. Honestly, being able to set terrain for that Expanding Force is nice. It is probably S tier too. Yeah, I really like Slowbro. Slowbro is really solid. Super bulky, so again, like I said, you're going to lip hits, and it does dish out a ton of damage. Magneton, Analytic, Electro Ball, Flash Cannon, Magnet Rise, Light Screen. I do like it. Steel is really nice in these Dynamax Adventures, and Flash Cannon, Electro Ball. Electro Ball is not going to go in super fast though. Probably a B tier, probably on the higher end of B tiers, but yeah, probably a B tier. Light Screen, super nice. Magnet Rise to survive ground moves. Yeah, I like it as B tier. Haunter, Hex, Hypnosis, Dream Eater, Energy Ball. Haunter is super nice because you can throw off Hypnosis and do Dream Eater and Hex stuff, but it's just you're just risking it kind of on that Hypnosis, and you're super frail. So, It is risky. Kingler, A tier. That's probably a high A tier, to be honest, too. I mean, Crabhammer, Dig Superpower, like, you get great coverage. You are kind of frail on the special side, and Wide Guard is such a good move for... You know what? I'm probably going to swap. Yeah, I'm going to swap these. I think Tentacruel is probably an A tier because that Poison Jab is physical, and you got to set up a Sword Stance. But Kingler gets 3 extremely strong physical moves, and if you max, since it's Gmax Kingler, you get to lower the speed harshly of the legendary Dynamax, and then potentially let all of your other 3 Pokemon move first the next turn, including yourself. So like that is really, speed control is really useful here. You know, getting 4 attacks off versus you basically get an extra full turn against the Dynamax Pokemon rather than letting it KO you. So and again, like a lot of them do carry spread moves. Wide Guard is so good in Dynamax Adventures, really strong. Exeggutor is probably it's A or B. Honestly, I feel like it's B. The problem is Solar Beam, you need the Sun Up, and Stomping Tantrum and Psycho Cut are physical. It doesn't have the best physical attack, and Terrain Pulse is really situational too. You need Terrain to be up, so it is a good bond, but it's just kind of situational. Okay, Marowak. Marowak is probably S tier. It hits so hard with that Fire Ghost, Flare Blitz, Shadow Bone, and you can Will-O-Wisp stuff and just really reduce that damage output. I mean, it's actually got decent defense, so you can survive some hits, and having an immunity is super nice, like the ground immunity here, and then it has Rock Head, so it doesn't take damage from Flare Blitz, which is really nice, but having that Ghost immunity, which from normal and fighting moves from the Maxmon, like that's awesome. All right, how many? Oh, I have a ton more to get through. All right, I'll start going a little quicker. Okay, Marowak, Boomerang, Ironhead, Screech, Throat Chop, pretty solid, but kind of frail, and yeah, you really just it's really only situational if you've got a good ground type Pokemon to hit, or someone who's weak to ground. Hitmonlee, definitely A tier. He's got Wide Guard, he's got Close Combat, Blaze Kick, Low Sweep, like really good moves, but again, super frail on the physical side. Hitmonchan, B tier. Elemental Punches and Power Up Punch, so it's got better coverage than Hitmonlee, but Hitmonlee gets Close Combat, and you can just hit things really hard. Whereas Hitmonchan, you might die, and your fighting stab move is only 40 power, so that's not that great. Lickitung, Oblivious, okay, Round, Muddy Water, Thunder, this is probably in a D tier. It's just, you're not doing good damage. You're really just kind of risking it on Blizzard and Thunder, like hacks, like getting like freezes and paralysis, and that's not great. Okay, Misty Surge, Weezing. I actually really like Misty Surge, Weezing. Probably an A tier. Strange Steam, Clear Smog, Flamethrower, Taunt. You really don't want to taunt. You don't want to waste a move doing that, but Strange Steam and Clear Smog and able to... actually, you know what? It's probably S tier. I mean, it has decent bulk, and having that Fairy Stab is super good in Dynamax Adventures, a lot of dragons. And that Misty Surge reducing that damage output for all of your teammates, like, yeah, that's really strong. Weezing, Neutralizing Gas. I feel like sometimes that hurts you, but it can be really strong against certain Dynamax Pokemon, like turning off their abilities, so that's really nice. And Clear Smog, removing their boosts if they do that, like Beast Boost, Ultra Beast and stuff, that's nice. Rhydon, Rockhead, True Run, Smackdown, Smart Strike, Scary Face, probably a B tier. I mean, it does get nice stab, but it is slow, and it just dies to any water or grass move, so it's really risky, and even like ground and fighting. Chansey, Round, Heal Pulse, Helping Hand, Light Screen. Chansey probably a B tier, like not doing damage, but really good support. Tangela, Power Up, Sunsport, Grassy Glide, Body Slam. It's probably C tier. Power Up is okay, but yeah, Sunsport you can do, paralyze them. That's really annoying. I mean, full parrying is really nice. So that's why you've got Sunspore Pokemon here in C tier. Like, that's kind of just what they do. Have to hope for those hacks. Kingscan, pretty good coverage moves. It just doesn't dish out that much damage, but Body Slam is really nice. Sucker Punch, Dig, Outrage, like a lot of good physical moves, and it is a physical mon, so that's really solid. Okay, Seadra, Sniper, Skull Dragon Pulse, Substitute Round. Seadra's probably C tier. I mean, it's got okay moves, but Scald you can get the burns, but Seadra just, I feel like it always dies every time I have it. Super easily. Seeking, Waterfall Bounce, and Poison Jab. I feel like this is a D tier. It just doesn't do anything. Starmie, Analytic, Power Gem, Dazzling Gleam, Icy Wind, Psycho Cut. I mean, decent coverage, good special attack, and it's probably C tier. Is it really worse than some of these? Nah, it's got to be B tier. I mean, it's okay. And like, you're probably not gonna get too much, but okay. Light Screen, Reflect, Icy Wind, Psychic, great support moves, and Icy Wind lowering. You are pretty frail though. I think the frail, like, it's so frail I can't really put it as A tier, I think. Okay, again, Light Screen, Reflect, Helping Hand, Psychic. Helping Hand's pretty nice, especially for the Dynamax Mon. And Fairy is a resist, whereas Ice is a terrible defensive typing, so that's why I think Kanto Mr. Mime is actually really good. Okay, Scyther, Fury Cutter, Quick Attack, Assurance, Wing Attack. You're not doing too much damage. I mean, Assurance and Wing Attack are good with Technician, but yeah. Okay, Jinx, Lovely Kiss is really nice, and Ice Beam, you get good damage. That's probably a B tier. Electabuzz, Rising Voltage, Electroweb, Helping Hand Round. Again, pretty solid. You need that electric terrain, and it is kind of frail, is the thing. Fire Blast, Burning Jealousy, Clear Smog Round. Honestly, I love the big Fire Blast stab, and then Burning Jealousy, being able to burn things, or Clear Smog. Like, you do have some utility there, so I think that's A tier. Tauros, really strong. Almost close to S tier, to be honest. Like, great coverage, close combat assurance, high horsepower facade. Like, Tauros is really good in a lot of scenarios. Ditto's interesting. Ditto, you get access to the max moves. Probably an A tier mon. A lot of the Pokemon like are dragon, so they hit themselves or something like that for super effective. But it's, but you do risk dying. Probably B tier. I don't know. Okay, Vaporeon, Water Pulse, Charm, Weather Ball, Haze. I like Vaporeon a lot. The thing about Vaporeon is it's really hard to take down, and saving those hearts is really nice. And you get that Water Stab plus Weather Ball situational, and Haze to remove the damage or the boosts if they get any, and then like Charm. Like, you got a lot of utility there. It's pretty nice. Jolteon, Thunderbolt, Swift, Shadow Ball, Helping Hand. Kind of frail, but really good damage output. Let's see, Flareon, Burning Jealousy, Shadow Ball, Baby Doll Eyes, Last Resort. It is just too frail. I mean, that Burning Jealousy is kind of nice, but it's and Shadow Ball, but it is. I mean, I think it has like 90 special attack or something like that, so it's not bad. But Baby Doll Eyes, and you really won't use Last Resort that often. Porygon's actually. Porygon can be really nice with foul play. Like, it is super situational, but you get download and you do get like decent coverage move. I feel like Porygon's A tier. Dragonair's B tier. It doesn't have the best bulk, but it does get decent, scale shot to boost your speed, break and sweep to lower it. Blizzard Thunder, good coverage, but again, you risk missing them, so it's tough. Noctowl, Tinted Lens, Reflect, Sky Attack, Hypnosis, Echoed Voice. I just feel like it doesn't do too much, and like Sky Attack, you're wasting turns just like waiting on the Sky Attack to go off, so not super great in my opinion. Lantern, Volt Absorb, great ability. Hydro Pump, Water Pulse, Confuse Ray, Thunderbolt, like really strong, really hard to take down. That's awesome. Togetic, Follow Me, Life 2, Play Rough, Mystical Fire. Follow Me is just so nice, and I probably can't put Iron Clefable though. That's probably similar. It's probably like a high A tier. You're not doing too much damage again, but okay, Xatu, Psychic, Simple Beam, Air Slash, Magic Bounce. I mean, you can turn off its abilities, which are nice, and you can do like Simple Beam, like Screech with somebody else, so like that's pretty nice, but it's kind of situational, and you do die a lot. That's a problem. He's probably C tier. Blossom, Grassy Train, Giga Drain, Helping Hand, Dazzling Gleam. I just feel like Blossom always is just so bad. Honestly, it's probably D tier. It just doesn't do that much. Azumarill, Aqua Jet, Play Rough, Aqua Tail, Bounce. Azumarill pretty nice. Azumarill probably A tier. You got that physical stab, and it's got Sap Sipper, so it's grass immune. So that's it helps it survive, and can get those attack boosts as well. Sudowoodo, it's got Sturdy, so it can live a hit, and it's got huge. You can throw off a huge Stone Edge. Probably B tier, probably a higher B tier to be honest. Politoed Drizzle, Politoed's super nice. Politoed is probably S tier. Like, you can just, especially if you're facing somebody who's weak to water, getting that Drizzle off and letting other Pokemon in your team like access that Drizzle and just throwing off Liquidations or even just helping hands, like so nice. And with power to even lower specialty if you need to. Unaware Quagsire, it's not great. I mean, it's harder to take down, but it's not doing much when it's out there. Yeah, probably D tier. I don't like using Quagsire. Slowking, the problem with Slowking, okay, it's B tier. Like, it's got Future Sight, Nasty Plot, Razor Shell, Ice Punch. The problem is Razor Shell and Ice Punch are physical, and it likes to go special. And Future Sight, it takes a couple turns to go off, so it's really annoying to use unless you're maxing it, I feel like. Dunsparce, Skitter Smack, Dual Wing Beat, Shadow Ball, Ice Beam. Dunsparce is like, it doesn't do that much. I mean, you can get freezes with Ice Beam, which is kind of nice, or lower with Shadow Ball with Ring Gauge, so that's kind of cool, but I don't know. Okay, Intimidate's always really nice. Quillfish gets good coverage with Poison Jab, Liquidation, Steel Roller as well. Honestly, that might be a hot take, but I'm putting Quillfish up there. Quillfish is really nice. That Intimidate is just super strong, reducing that damage output right off the bat. And if you die and come back in another Intimidate, like, that's actually not terrible. Sneasel, Triple Axle, Lash Out, Throat Chop, Snarl, B tier. It's kind of frail, but those are good coverage moves. The Triple Axle can miss. It's not going to hit all 3 times all the time, which is annoying. Piloswine, Superpower, Ice Shard, Rock Tomb, and Blizzard. Pretty solid. You got Electric Resist, which is really nice. Thick Fat too, which helps it survive. Octillery is like A tier. I love using Octillery. Great coverage with Acid Spray, Scald, Flash Can, Skitter Smack, and it's just really nice. Decent bulk and offense. I like it when I get them. Wide Guard, Mantine, Air Slash Dive, Water Pulse. And honestly, Wide Guard just sets it up here, and super especially bulky too, lets it live. Like, Wide Guard's super useful, like I said in this. Skarmory, you've got 2 resists, Poison and Ground, which is nice. You're not going to be doing too much damage because of his offenses, but you'll survive, which is nice. Hitmontop, Intimidate, Drill Run, Triple Axle, Brick Break, Coaching. Yeah, that's really nice. You got Intimidate and Coaching, and it's probably an S tier, honestly. Yeah, and you're bulky enough to survive a couple hits. Like, I really like using Hitmontop. It's got a good mix of both. Miltank is A tier for sure. Really bulky. You got Scrappy, throwing off huge Mega Kicks, and you can Thunder Wave, and then Milk Drink, and useless Play Rough. So I really like Miltank there. Oh my gosh, how do we have this many Pokemon? Okay, Grovyle, Grass Pledge, Screech, Brick Break, and Door. Grovyle is solid. It's B tier. I like it. Screech and Grass Pledge are kind of nice. Sceptile, I love Sceptile. It's A tier. Grass Pledge, Break and Swipe, Leaf Storm, X Scissor. Like, you can hit stuff really hard. I mean, it is a triple evolution. Oh, geez, that's hard. Leaf Storm hits super hard. Problem is you can only do it once. But Break and Swipe, you can auto attack. It's probably S tier. I do really like picking up one of those triple evolution starters every time I can. Combuskin dies really easily is the problem. I don't like it. It's probably C tier. Blaziken, obviously S tier. You got Fire Punch, Blaze Kick, Close Combat, Coaching. Like, this is one of the higher S tiers. It's so good every time you get it. Dishes out huge damage. And that speed boost to go first. Marsh Stomp ain't bad. Probably a B tier. Water Pledge, Waterfall, Dig, Ice Punch. Like, great coverage moves. And it's just a little... It just dies to a grass move, which is really annoying. Swampert, another S tier though. Like, Water Punch, Blizzard, Earth Power, Amnesia, super strong. Linoon, regular line, or no, Galarian Linoon. Snarl, Taunt, Substitute, Throat Chop. I don't like that. These Linoons just die so easily. This one's probably even worse, D tier. Yeah, it just doesn't deal out as much damage. At least you've got Psychic Resist there. And Ghost. Pelipper, Drizzle, Weather Ball, Wide Guard. Like, okay, Pelipper, another S tier. Like, having that weather, reducing, especially if you go up against like a fire Pokemon, like, it just does, like, and Weather Ball Pelipper actually does a ton of damage, and like Wide Guard is really nice. Quick Attack if you need to. Ninjask, Fury Cutter, Substitute Mudslap. It just dies way too easily. C tier. It's got okay offense, but it just dies way too easily. Exploud does a lot of damage, and it doesn't die that easily, and it's got Scrappy, which is kind of cool. So yeah, definitely A tier there. Lairon gets good coverage, but the problem is you can't use Steel Roller unless you have Terrain Up. Manectric, Rising Voltage, Swift, Overheat, Psychic Fangs. Lightning Rod is super strong. A tier. I mean, it's a little situational, but like Overheat and Rising Voltage are really strong. Okay, Roselia. No, I hate Roselia. She just dies way too easily. Doesn't do anything. Sharpedo, Aqua Jet Assurance, Swagger, Scale Shot. I really like Sharpedo. It does, Assurance does huge damage. I mean, you're usually gonna be going first, but if someone else happens to go first, Assurance does so much damage, especially against a lot of the Psychic types, and it's Psychic Resist or Psychic Immune, so that's super nice. Whalmer is a C tier. I mean, he's okay sometimes. Like Bounce is kind of nice to stall out turns, especially if they go into you. Like, but again, you can't use Steel Roll unless it's Train Up, and then Brine and Endure. Okay, Torkoal, another A tier or S tier. Torkoal's so nice. Like the weather and terrain setters are really nice in Dynamax Adventures. It can really boost up your team, especially if you have a favorable matchup. And then Flygon. Flygon's probably an A tier. It gets decent coverage. Bug Buzz, Mudslap, Steel Wing, Dragon Claw, and it's got immunity to ground and electric, so that's pretty nice. Altaria, Cotton Guard is pretty nice to help you survive. Dazzling Gleam, Heat Wave, Dragon Pulse, decent coverage. Cloud9 to turn off weather though can actually hurt you most of the time. I don't know. I think it's probably B tier. Whiscash, Bounce, Belch, Muddy Water, Zen Headbutt. You can't use Belch unless you Dynamax for the most part. Yeah, it's probably a C tier. I don't like it that much. Crawdaunt does big damage. With adaptability and lash out, like it is kind of frail, but with adaptability, lash out, Muddy Water, like Muddy Water, it's not even a special attacker, but sometimes Muddy Water can even still be really strong. Claydol, Trick Room is pretty useful, and you've got again immunity to electric and ground, and you've got Psychic, Ancient Power, Hyper Beam, Trick Room. It kind of survives a decent amount of time too. It's got some good bulk. It's probably A tier. Cordelia, Suction Cups, Energy Ball, Ancient Power, Gas for Acid, Sludge Bomb. Probably a B tier. I just feel like it doesn't do enough damage to be worthwhile. On the other hand, Armaldo's got some decent. I mean, it's got good coverage. You can boost its special defense with Stomping Tantrum, Mac Quakes, and you've got X-Scissor and Smackdown, which are great stab moves. Especially against a lot of the Psychics and Flying that are in Dynamax Adventures. So yeah, Armaldo's pretty solid. Dusclops, it doesn't really die, which is nice. It's kind of bulky. But Shadow Sneak, Hex, Gravity, Scare Smack, and you need support with it. It's probably a B tier. Absol, pretty strong, but it just dies too easily. B tier. Blizzard, Night Slash, Fire Blast. You don't want to be using those special moves that often either. Okay, Glalie, Steel Roller, Crunch, Ice Fang, Fake Tears. Pretty solid, but again, just too frail. Celio, Ice Beam, Brine, Dive, Swagger, Thick, Fat. Ice Beam and Brine are great, great stab moves for it. And Thick Fat helps us survive. And it's already got some decent bulk, so pretty solid. Okay, Relicanth, B tier. Not super great, but like, because it's slow, but like Rockhead, Head Smash does disgusting damage, but super effective. Matang's probably B tier. I mean, it does die kind of easily, but it does have huge Meteor Mash power, so that's really nice. Luxray, Guts, yeah, it's probably B tier. Rising Voltage, Electric Train, Light Screen, Facade. Like you can hit stuff super hard, kind of frail though. Vespiquen, Attack Order Striker, Dual Wing Beat. I just C tier. It's okay against the Psychics, especially, but like I don't know. It's just a meh Pokemon. Cherrim, Flower Gift, Sunny Day, Weather Ball, Solar Beam, Warrior Speed. Sunny Day and giving your opponents or your teammates Flower Gift is really nice, but you do have to waste a turn setting it up, and you could just get one shot by the Dynamax Pokemon, so a little bit situational. Gastron's Hand Force, Body Slam, Skitter Smack, Rock Tomb, Waterfall. Gastron's pretty good. It does. I feel like it survives a lot. Probably B tier. Driftblim, Aftermath, Will-O-Wisp, Psychic, Tailwind, Thunderbolt. I don't know. I like those moves. I feel like it's probably A tier. I really like having Driftblim. You got 3 immunities too. Ground Fighting, Normal. Having immunities and just wasting a turn of the max move from the legendary is super useful. Lopunny, Drain Punch, Mega Kick, Charm, Bounce. Yeah, that's probably a B tier. That's nice, having those big Mega Kicks, and then Charm if you would need to, and then Bounce just to stall out turns. Skunk Tank, another pretty solid. Lash Out, Burning Jealousy, Acid Spray, Sucker Punch. With that Psychic immunity too. Aftermath. Honestly, Skunk Tank's pretty good. Yeah, it's actually probably an A tier because you've got Acid Spray and Burning Jealousy. Like those are super nice, and you can Sucker Punch if you're gonna go last, which you probably are for the most part. Bronzong, Skill Swap, Metal Sound, Steel Roller, Zen Headbutt. The problem is you can't really use Steel Roller all the time, so it's just too situational. B tier. Munchlax, Thick Fat, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, Body Slam, Gunk Shot. I mean, it's okay. It gets decent coverage, and Thick Fat's nice to survive, but you're not doing too much damage even with the coverage moves. Drapion, Lash Out, X Scissor, Acupressure, Iron Tail. Oh man, the problem is it's super strong, but Lash Out's your only stab. That's the thing. But he is really nice. A good A tier for sure. Abomasnow, Soundproof. Avalanche, Aurora Veil, Round, Grassy Glide. Probably. I mean, get decent coverage. But you can't set up Aurora Veil without Hail, which is annoying. I don't know. Yeah, probably a B tier actually. Frostlass, Triple Axle, Frostpath, Aurora Veil, Shadow Ball. It's got Snow Cloak. Frostlass it is just super frail, but Shadow Ball and Frostpath are really nice if you get to throw a couple of those off. Rotom, just too frail again, but Electro Ball, Will-O-Wisp, Nasty Plot, Hex, kind of solid, and you've got Ground immunity and Fighting and Normal immunity too, which is kind of nice. Yeah, it's probably a B tier. Probably decent, pretty solid. Anything with Will-O-Wisp and Burn is really nice. Stoutland, Giga Impact, Facade, Round, Baby Doll Eyes. Again, probably a B tier. Giga Impact is super strong, especially in Scrappy. Actually, it is probably an A tier. I forgot it's Scrappy. Yeah, that is really useful. Liepard, I love having Liepard. Assurance, Polywrath, Torment, Screech. I mean, throwing off a huge Screech. It's got Limber, and not Prankster, but that's nice not being able to get paralyzed. Assurance and Polywrath do decent. You are kind of frail though. There's just so many Psychic types is the thing. That Dark is just so good. Expanding Force, Psyshock, Yawn, Energy Ball. Musharna. Yawn is super useful. Just throwing out. Musharna is definitely S tier. Like super strong. Ability to go essentially physical or special with Expanding Force or Psyshock. Energy Ball is good coverage, and then Yawn, like putting them to sleep. Oh, so useful. Unpheasant. Dual Wing Beat, Taunt, Feather Dance, Tailwind. It really just has dual Wing Beat. I mean, Tailwind's okay, but Boldore, Stone Edge, Iron Defense, Body Press, Stomping Tantrum, Sturdy, but it does die pretty easily. Swoobat, Simple Beam, Speed Swap, Psychic, Air Slash. It dies too easily, just too situational. I mean, Speed Swap's okay sometimes, but you're just wasting a turn. Not really setting up, just switching the order of who goes first. Audino, Life Dew, Draining Kiss, Hyper Voice, Flamethrower. Audino's kind of solid. I mean, it sticks around. It's got Life Dew. Life Dew is really useful here. Girder, same thing. Focus Punch, coaching, Brick Break, high horsepower, great coverage, and coaching is super useful. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, same tier as Machoke. Okay, that's what I was trying to do. That's what I was trying to figure out. Echoed Voice, Scald, Earth Power, Bounce. So we have some Palpitoad. I hate when Palpitoad's on my team. Oh my gosh, he just dies so quickly. Seismitoad, Echoed Voice, Supersonic, Sludge Bomb, Screech. It's okay. Screech is nice, but and you are fully evolved, so you survive. But Sludge Bomb's you're really only good attacking move. Oh wait, who did I just place? Oh, Scolipede. Scolipede, Steel Roller, Toxic, Throat Chop, Mega Horn. I like him. He's pretty good. Steel Roller, obviously, you can only use when train's up, but Throat Chop and Mega Horn, I mean, throwing off a big Mega Horn is really nice. Whimsicott. Hurricane, Taunt, Energy Ball, Playrough. Whimsicott's probably an A tier. Really fast. And then you can also max Airstream, and Energy Ball and Playrough are nice stabs. Lilligant. Petal Dance, Quiver Dance, Light Screen, Pollen Puff. Lilligant's pretty good. It is probably A tier. I mean, because you don't get confused by Petal Dance, so you can just throw off huge Petal Dances, and then you can also Quiver Dance and set that up, or set up a Light Screen and heal your teammates. Okay, the Basculins. Blue Basculin, Adaptability, Scald, Dive, Crunch, Substitute. Basculin's actually pretty strong with adaptability. Like, do not underestimate it. The other Basculin, Psychic Fangs, Ice Fang, Dive, Liquidation. Yeah, like Liquidation Basculin actually does a ton of damage because it has adaptability. Crocodile, Earth Power, Swagger, Darkest Lariat, Sandstorm. Pretty strong. The thing is, if it had like high horsepower, I'd put it S tier, I think. But Earth Power, it's special, so not hitting it as hard. Maractus Storm Drain is really nice. Not too many waters though, legendaries, and Energy Ball, Leaf Storm, Sucker Punch, Acupressure. Yeah, unless it's water, you're not doing too much damage. Crustle, Shell Smash, X Scissor, Rock Tomb, Body Press. X Scissor is really nice in Rock Tomb. And you can actually you can Shell Smash and deal really good damage with X Scissor. It's probably an A tier. All right, we're getting there. Sigilyph, Psychic, Green Dance, Air Slash, Flash Can. I'm putting him in D tier solely because every time the NPCs get a freaking Sigilyph, they Rain Dance no matter what. Even if you have Torkoal, even if you have, even if you're trying to set weather, with a Max Flare or a Max Hail or something like that, and it just Rain Dances, resets it. It loves to freaking use that, and it's so annoying. Okay, Covagrigus, Shadow Ball, Haze, Psychic, Wonder Room. Yeah, actually pretty solid. Shadow Ball, throwing off Shadow Balls and you survive a lot. That's probably an A tier. It's really nice. Gmax, Garbodor, Gunk Shot, Sludge Bomb, Drain Punch, Venom Drench. Is really nice. It does die though pretty easily, but those huge Gunk Shots are really nice for the fairies. There's only a couple fairies, but it is really nice for them. Well, I guess you got all the Tapus, never mind. Chinchino, Technician, it does work, but it dies pretty easily. It's probably a B tier. Vanillush, Mist, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Hyper Voice, and it's got Ice Body. See, the problem is you really just have to use Ice Beam because Blizzard, you need the Hail up, and it just dies super easily. So probably a C tier. And Molga, again, it just dies way too easily. C tier. It's got Acrobats, Rising Voltage, Endure, Electro Web. Yeah, I mean, Electro is nice for the speed control, but it's not great. It just dies too easily. Escavalier, Drill Run, Razor Shell, Fury Cutter, Taunt. A tier. If it has Steel Move, easily S tier. But those moves are pretty solid in and of itself, and it's hard for him to die. Amoonguss, Clear Smog, Rage Powder, Giga Drain, Venus Shock. Amoonguss is really strong. He doesn't really die, and having that Rage Powder is super nice with redirecting those attacks and letting all the rest of your team just blow up the Max Mon. Dazzling Gleam, Dive, Trick Room, Icy Wind. Decent. The problem is Dive, right? So if you had like Water Pulse, I might put this A tier, but having a physical water move is really annoying, and taking 2 turns to do it, which can be good or bad depending on the situation. Galvantula, Thunder, Bug Buzz, Electro Ball, Electro Web. It does a lot. It does a lot of damage, but Galvantula dies super easily. Yeah, and Bug and Electric. Actually, it's not the worst typing, but you're only weak to, I guess, Fire and what else is Bug weak to? Besides Flying and Fire, is there anything else? I guess it isn't that bad. But it is pretty frail. Yeah, you can throw off some huge thunders and bug buzzes though. Yeah, that damage output's nice. It's probably an A tier. Clang with minus. Charge Beam, Rising Voltage, Flash Cannon, Power Gem. Not bad, but not great. That's all I have to say. Gear Grind, Shift Gear, Giga Impact, Metal Sound, Kling Clang. I like Kling Clang. Probably in A tier. It's got plus, which is really cool, and Gear Grind can do huge damage on the fairies. Plus Shift Gear, like Shift Gear, Gear Grind does work against a lot of people. Behem, Expanding Force, Dark Pulse, Meteor Beam Round. Gosh, it would be so much better with Analytic, but Meteor Beam can be pretty strong against a lot of Pokemon. I'll keep it as B tier. Lampant, Burning Jealousy, Skitter Smack, Inferno, Trick Room. It just dies so easily, C tier, but it got Burning Jealousy, so it's useful sometimes. Fracture, okay, and Fracture dies really easily, but it's got Outrage and Break and Swipe, so it can hit dragons pretty hard if they don't attack him. But if they do, he's gone immediately. Beartic, B tier. The problem with Beartic is its moves are all special. If it had like Icicle Crash, for sure A tier. But it's got Body Press, Blizzard, Frost Breath, Brine, which still aren't bad, but like it's annoying. Blizzard, Ice Beam, Reflect, Solar Beam. Yeah, decent coverage. You got Levitate. You got Reflect to protect on the physical side, but you're really just Ice Beam machine. Excelgor, Struggle Bug, Acid Spray, Rain Dance, Bug Buzz. I really like throwing off Bug Buzzes with Excelgor. He's going to go first every turn, and you can Acid Spray, and then the rest of your team can just blow it up with a special move. Or you can Struggle Bug and reduce their damage output. So really strong either way. Stunfisk, Electric Train, Thunderbolt, Earth Fire, Muddy Water. Oh wait, sorry, wrong Stunfisk. This Stunfisk is a B tier. Honestly, I think like Electric immunity and I mean you do die to water and grass moves, but honestly you're dishing out okay damage with those stabs. Earth Power, Thunderbolt, and then Muddy Water just for coverage. Stunfisk, Metal Sound, Terrain Pulse, Foul Play. Earth Power, I mean, Foul Play is kind of nice, and you've got the Steel and Ground for the resist. Yeah, it's probably B tier. I would rather have it than these mons for sure. It's a low B tier, but it's a B tier. Mind Shout, Wide Guard, Aura Sphere, Rock Tomb, Mega Kick. Again, like Wide Guard is super nice, but if it had like any physical fighting move, I'd probably put it up there. I guess actually Aura Sphere, it's actually still kind of strong. Yeah, and you got Rock Tomb. And Inner Focus is nice. Well, I guess there's no Intimidators here, but yeah. Druddigon, Sheer Force, Lash Out, Dual Wing Beat, Ironhead, Dig. Ironhead, you get the Sheer Force boost. That's the only thing. It doesn't have, again, it doesn't have Dragon Stab. That's the biggest problem. If it had Dragon Stab, I would put it higher. It is really nice, though, having 4 attacks for coverage. Gurlurk, Focus Punch, Shadow Punch, Scorching Chance, Safeguard. I like Gurlurk. It survives a decent amount of time, and Focus Punch does a lot of damage, but it is risky. You can go for Shadow Punch, Iron Fist, but like Scorching Chance, you can go for Burn too, and with the stab, it's still doing decent damage. Bisharp, Night Slash, Poison Jab, Psycho Cut, Metal Sound. You don't have any Steel moves is a problem, and you just get wiped by a fighting move. But yeah. No, Dark is really nice in this format, though. Yeah. Dark is really nice against a ton of the Psychics. Okay, Bouffalant. Body Slam, Lash Out, Smart Strike, Super Power. And Sap Sipper. Honestly, I love when I have Bouffalant. He's an S tier. Like, but did I put Tauros S tier? I feel like he's the same as Tauros. I don't know, though. Honestly, yeah, maybe him and Taurus do deserve to be S tier. They've got great coverage moves, and they survive a decent amount. And yeah, their coverage is just really nice. And they've got all physical moves too, which they like to use. Heat More, Flash Fire, Fire Lash, Overheat, Sunny Day, Sword Beam. I mean, pretty strong for what you use it for. It does die pretty easily, which is annoying, but when you get a Sunny Day Overheat off, I mean, that's doing huge damage, especially to like, you know, a Buzzwole or something like that. Okay, Durant, Thunderfang, X Scissor, Metal Sound, Metal Claw. I mean, it's actually X Scissor, Metal Claw is really good, and it's got Swarm, so it's you don't have to worry about missing a Hustle attack. And Thunderfang's good coverage, plus Metal Sound if you need to. Like, pretty solid all around. Diggersby, Stone Edge, Stomping Tantrum, Dig, Quick Attack, and huge power. Honestly, Diggersby's an S tier. Like, huge power, you're doing such big damage with like max. I mean, max strike off Quick Attack isn't that much, but max Quakes, oh yeah. Okay, Talonflame, we're almost done here. Gale Wings, Tailwind, Hurricane, Steel Wing, Flamethrower. It's special. You do miss Hurricanes, which is annoying. I mean, you do get Prankster Tailwind basically, but it is super frail, which is super annoying. I hate just losing a heart super fast. Bullet Punch, Hammer Arm, Darkest Lair at Coaching. Great coverage. Dark's great in this format. Coaching, super strong. Doughblade. Okay, No Guard, Ironhead, Sword Stance, Sacred Sword, Air Lace. Doughblade's got super good defense. And it's got Stab with Ironhead. Honestly, probably an A tier. It actually does pretty good damage. It's got really high attack too. And No Guard. You don't even need No Guard though with Sacred Sword and Aerial Lace, but that's good coverage moves. And if you get a Sword Stance up and max, you're going to town. Malamar, Topsy Turvy, Expanding Force, Night Slash, Thunderbolt. Good coverage. Dark solid. Contrary to reverse any stat drops and stuff. Like, that's really nice. Barbarical, Razor Shell, Blizzard, Skull Bash, Poison Jab. And it's a B tier. I mean, Razor Shell, Tough Claws, you know, does some decent amount. But yeah, it just slow and it dies. That's the problem. Electro Ball, Agility, Round, Mud Slap. Electro Ball is pretty good, but other than that, you're not going to be doing too much. I mean, if you get them on a round team, like, that could be really, really useful, but super situational is a problem. Tyrantrum, okay, Scale Shot and Rock Blast from a Tyrantrum just do so much damage. The problem is it's special defense, but it's so strong. It's actually probably S tier. Like, it's really strong if you max it, especially. Aurora's Refrigerate, Bislam Thunder, Ancient Power, Thunder Wave. I love the coverage, and with Refrigerate, like, Body Slam's super useful. Ice is really good against a ton of these legendaries, so I like Aurora's a lot. Halucha's not bad. Low Sweep, Throat Drop, Taunt, Poison Jab. It just dies. If it had close combat, it'd probably be A tier. Dead End Plus, Entrainment Thunder, Dazzling Gleam, Substitute. It dies super quickly. The other problem is the freaking NPCs always just using Entrainment Plus everywhere. It's so annoying. I mean, it can be useful, but sometimes I just say, why don't you just attack, please? We need some damage. Klefki, Prankster, Light Screen, Crafty Shield, Flash Cannon, Polywrath. Pretty good, actually. You've got immunities from to Dragon, too. It's probably A tier. And you're doing some damage with Polywrath and Flash Cannon if you're super effective, so... Trevenant, Hornleech, Reflect, Drain Punch, Trick Room. Hornleech from Trevenant does really well, but against the legendaries, yeah, there's not too many where it's useful. Gorgegeist, Mystical Fire, Shadow Sneak, Worry Seed, Scary Face. Yeah, you're not doing too much, but you are pretty bulky, which is nice. Charger Bug, String Shot, Eerie Impulse, Spark Dig. It's got battery though, which is pretty cool. Can really boost your team if you're special. Vikavolt, Spark, Mud Slap, Poison Jab, Bug Buzz. Maybe you've got Spark. Well, Spark's physical, but you've got Bug Buzz. You do have Bug Buzz, and you're immune, and you resist stuff. It's probably A tier, yeah. And you can technically max Ooze, Poison Jab, or Mud Slap, Quake, but Poison Jab to raise your special attack, even though it's physical, and then you can just throw off a huge Bug Buzz, and there's a lot of Psychics running around. So Pollen Puff, Drain Kiss, Aromatherapy, Fake Tears. Fake Tears is super nice, especially because you go first. Like, Fake Tears from a fast Pokemon is really, really nice. And you got the Fairy Resist for the dragons. Or immunity, I should say. Excel Rock, Stone Edge, Round Howl. Okay. Or no, this is wrong. This is Stone Edge, Brick Break, Taunt, Crunch. This, I think Midnight Form is probably an A tier. I like that. You've got extra speed here from Lycanroc. They're just a little too frail to be S tier, I think, though. But they're really, really strong. Those are probably high A tiers. Mudsdale. Oh my gosh, Mudsdale is S tier. He doesn't die. And he's got own tempo, which is nice, but he's got Lash Out, Super Power, Sand Tomb, Rock Smash, all physical. If you max him, you can do so much stuff with him. It's super, super versatile with those moves. Liquidation, Entrainment, Lunge, Poison Jab. Yeah, probably an A tier. I like Arachnid. It's got great specialty. Water Absorb. Okay, we're getting to the end here. Lurantis, Leaf Storm, Weather Ball, X Scissor, Round. So Leaf Storm is super, super good, honestly. And then X Scissor, like he has decent attack. And Weather Ball is kind of situational. Like you can just boost your special attack in the Weather Ball. Like honestly, I feel like Lurantis is S tier. But it is slow. It's probably A tier. It's a decent A tier though. It's pretty freaking good with those Leaf Storms. Strength Sap, Moonblast, Rain Dance, Weather Ball. I feel like I don't even use Shiinotic that much, but yeah, it's pretty nice. Strength Sap and the Rain Dance, Weather Ball is kind of an interesting setup, but the Stab Moonblast is solid. Salazzle, Toxic Flamethrower, Cross Poison, Venom Drench. Again, it's B tier. If it had Sludge Bomb, I would say A tier. Super, super good. It's Double Edge, Baby Doll Eyes, Payback, Give It Impact. It's got Klutz. If it had Fluffy, I think I might say A tier. I mean, Double Edge is okay, but it doesn't get any fighting moves either, which is super annoying. Serena. Aromatherapy, Trop Kick, Acrobatics, Swagger. Aromatherapy can be useful. Trop Kick is really strong. And you can do Swagger stuff like on if you have any own tempo mons, so that's really nice. Comfey. Draining Kiss, Floral Healing, After You, Energy Ball, and it's got Triage. That's really nice for keeping your teammates alive. S tier for sure. Oranguru, Symbiosis, Instruct, Light Screen, Psyshock. Honestly, it's got decent coverage, and being able to, because usually you have like one or two like super effective mons against the or sometimes you end up in situations like that against the legendary, and being able to instruct and you use that move again is so useful. Passimian Receiver, Acrobatics, Rock Tomb, Brick Break, Substitute. It's pretty good. It's got Stab, Brick Break, which is really nice. Receiver you can do some interesting stuff with, but it's just kind of random. Palisand, Terrain Pulse, Scorching Sands, Shore Up. Palisand's A tier for sure. I mean, Scorching Sands and Shadow Ball Stab, and you usually survive pretty. Honestly, actually, it's probably S tier. Because Scorching, and it's got Terrain Pulse and Shore Up. Like you can heal, you can burn, you have terrain coverage, and like Stab, especially with all special moves, which Palisand likes to go special. So it's really nice. Toxic Taunt, Venom Drench, Counter. I would almost say C tier, probably a higher D tier, but it is just annoying how it can really only just Toxic and then Taunt and Venom Drench. I mean, you can counter, but that's really dependent. Sturdy, Togedemaru, Nuzzle, Poison Jab, Electro Web, Iron Head. It's solid. You get Nuzzle. And Iron Head. I mean, it's good physical moves. Mimikyu, Shadow Claw, Slash, Baby Doll Eyes, Curse. The problem is if it got Fairy Move, I'd probably put it S tier, or not S tier, A tier. But I mean, Disguise is nice to survive for sure. And Shadow Claw is really solid for dishing out damage, but it just needs a Fairy Move. You're never going to use Slash really. Greedent, Gyro Ball, Psychic Fang, Sword Slam, Spy Slam. Greedent is an A tier. Like honestly, he survives a lot, and Body Slam, just paralyzing stab, is really nice. Orbital, Setting of Gravity with Gmax, After Use Psychic, Psybeam, Struggle Bug. It's B tier. I mean, it's got good stab, but Psychic Stab isn't super useful in this. Yeah, Thievul, Foul Play, Snarl, Taunt, Burning, Jealousy. I really like Thievul, especially with stab Foul Play. Like, you have to respect that. It is so nice. Light Screen, Weather Ball, Cotton Guard, Leaf Storm. Not terrible. Probably the lower side of the B tiers. Grassy Glide, Mega Kick, Body Press Substitute with Fluffy. I mean, you can do Mega Kick and throw off some good moves, but it's not going to be doing too much. So, but it does survive, which is really nice. So yeah, probably B tier. Razor Shell, Rock Slide, Skiers Max, Smart Strike. Having the stab physical is really nice with Dreadnought. That's A tier. Bolden, Rising Voltage, Crunch, Charm, Helping Hands. Yeah, I'd say Bolden's an A tier. You've got Charm and Helping Hand, which are really good supportive, and then Strong Jaw Crunch actually does really good damage. And then Rising Voltage if you happen to get Electric Train up. Overheat, Fire Spin, Reflect, Rock Slide. Like Overheat is actually really nice on Karkle, but you die super easily. Gmax Colossal last year, I mean, that's just so strong. I mean, it does die to ground or water moves, but like Meteor Beam, Flamethrower, Scald. Like if you can, and it's got Steam Engine, but if you can set up and just get those Vocalith going and stuff like that, like the damage is amazing. Sandaconda is probably a really high A tier. The problem is it doesn't get a physical ground move because it gets Scorching Sands. It gets Skitter Smack. Glare is nice. Scale Shot, but like, and like I do like the Gmax move, just doing additional damage, but yeah, it's just kind of annoying not having that physical ground move. Cramorant, Gold Missile, Dive, Endure, Amnesia, Throat Chop. Okay, so Dive, you can do it using this Gold Missile stuff, and you can avoid attacks, which is nice, but yeah, you're just not doing damage quickly. It's annoying, and you don't get a flying move. Barraskewda, Aqua Jet, Scale Shot, Endurance, Endure. Again, the problem with Barraskewda is that it gets Aqua Jet. If it had Liquidation, I'd probably put it A tier, like really strong, but really frail. And its stab move is 40 power. Toxtricity, Rising Voltage, Thunderwave, Hyperforce, Tearful Look. Honestly, I am probably, and it gets plus. Thunderwave is nice. The Gmax move is really nice too. Poison for the additional damage every turn, or just being able to paralyze with it. Like I do really like that. Centiskorch, same things. Centiskorch, these two are probably lower on the A tiers, but White Smoke, not being able to lower your stats, and then Flamethrower, Scorching Sands, Venoshock, Slam. Like he goes physical, but a lot of those three are special moves that you're going to use, which is annoying. But like, the Fire Spin damage is nice. The Scorching Sands to Burn's nice. Okay, Graplock, Drain Punch, Topsy Turvy, Muddy Water, Focus Blast. Probably a B tier. It's just kind of slow as a problem. Poltergeist, Sucker Punch, Sideshock, Giga Drain. Honestly, Poltergeist is a C tier. It doesn't get any Ghost Stab. Super annoying. It's got weak armor, so you're really susceptible to die. Hatterene, even though it gets Play Rough, probably a higher A tier, honestly. Like Psychic Fairy. Fairy's really nice, and Play Rough, I mean, it has like 90 or 95 attack, so it's like actually still pretty solid, and you can Life Do. And it's honestly probably an S tier. Like I love getting Hatterene. Deal big damage. Grimmsnarl, absolutely S tier. I think again, Grimmsnarl has like 95 special attack or something like that, and it's got Dark Pulse, which you can, and it doesn't have any Fairy stab, but Fairy Resist is still nice, and Dark Resist. And it's got Confide, which is pretty nice. Obstagoon. Let's see. Lash Out, Thunderbolt, Facade, Screech. Okay, Screech with Facade or Lash Out does really good damage. And Thunderbolt's a nice coverage move. You can potentially paralyze. Plus it's got Reckless. I don't even know if that really helps it there. Okay. So we've got Berserker, Steely Spirit, Metal Claw, Amnesia, Lash Out, Thunder. Problem is Metal Claw can miss. Like if it had Iron Head, I think I'd probably put it A tier. Steely Spirit's really nice though for the team. If you get a couple of steel Pokemon, like it can be really cool. Alchemy, Decorate, SNG, Mystical Fire. This one is decent. Its Gmax move is really nice. And Decorate is pretty solid too, actually. Yeah, Decorate can be really useful. That's probably an S tier. Just decorate your Pokemon that does the big damage, that has the super effective move on the legendary, and then you can just get it over really quick. Phalanx, first impression, Swordsman, Smart Strike, Brick Break. Yeah, Phalanx is A tier. It's got really good physical attack and physical moves, and that first impression is really nice against the Psychics. Plus, it can Sword Stance. Pincurchin Electric Surge with Thunder is nice. The problem is, we got Hydro Pump, Acupressure, Venom Drench. It's just super slow. And it is kind of frail. Frostmoth. Weather Ball, Tailwind, Struggle Bug, Hurricane. It doesn't get any Ice Stab, which is annoying. And Struggle Bug isn't super powerful, though it does lower the special attack. You got Ice Scales. Actually, yeah. Yeah, it's probably a high B tier, to be honest. Indeed, Synchronize, Mystical Fire, Expanding Force, Calm Mind, Shadow Ball. Pretty solid. Okay, it would probably be S tier if it had Psychic Surge as a thing. Without that, it does a lot less damage. Morpeko, Hunger Switch. Okay, Morpeko. Hot take, but Morpeko I feel like is S tier. Morpeko it just deals so much damage with the Aura Wheel, and then you get Speed Boost and you go faster, and you can just keep doing Electric Dark, like swapping. Those are both really good coverage moves, especially for these Dynamax Adventures. Like a lot of things are weak to Electric or Dark, and it's so strong. It's like 110 power or something like that, and he's got really good attack. So, okay, Caparasha Sheer Force. I would absolutely put this S tier if it had a. Well, I mean, Physical Steel Roller is nice, but only if you max it. That's the only problem. Only if you max it, you can use Steel Roller. Otherwise, you gotta use Sheer Force Flash Cannon, which still does decent damage, but like, if I had Iron Head, for sure S tier instead of Flash Cannon. Drowdon, Breaking Swipe, Thunder Wave, Iron Head, Thunderbolt. It's only stat. The problem is, okay, it is really nice. It does survive. It's got good immunities, but like Breaking Swipe and Thunder Wave is actually a really solid support move on it. But Breaking Swipe is its stab move and it's physical, so that's annoying. Dracloak dies really easily, and your stab move is Dragon Rush. I mean, you can burn with Will-O-Wisp, which is nice, but it just dies so quickly. Oh, it's so annoying. So yeah, that's the tier list. If you guys disagree with anything, let me know. I think like if you're doing Dynamax Adventures, go for these mods up here. Like if you go for these mods, you will win a lot of games. I mean, I do a lot of them just with NPCs, just to run through them, and usually I'll pick up a lot of these and just absolutely go to town. Specifically for computers, if you get one of them that has like Hitmonlee or Mantine with Wide Guard, they do really like to use those support moves or like Follow Me. So giving the computers those support mods is really nice, especially because they can't Dynamax. But yeah, hopefully this helps you guys, and it was exciting. Do not get these Pokemon, especially not Charmeleon. I hate Charmeleon and Sigilyph. Sigilyph, in my opinion, is the soul rock of Dynamax Adventures for raids. Like it's Martin's soul rock. It really is. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and that's gonna be it for us today. Goomer22 out. Like, share, subscribe.